Every year, millions of Americans save up for that dream vacation. Europe, Hawaii, maybe Japan. A chance to escape the routine, to feel alive again. And among those dreamers were Ethan and Rachel, a young couple from Portland. They had been planning their getaway for years. Flights booked, itinerary ready, bags almost packed. But life had other plans. Because what if one canceled trip, one simple change in plans, could completely change your financial future? This is the story of Ethan and Rachel, a couple who learned that sometimes the best trip you never took becomes the best decision of your life. It was 2013. Ethan was 29. Rachel, 27. A young couple from Portland working decent jobs. Nothing fancy, but enough to cover the bills and dream a little. For 3 years, they'd been planning their dream vacation. Europe, Paris, Rome, Santorini. They saved every bonus, every tax refund, $8,000 in total. Flights booked, bags ready. This was supposed to be their first international trip together. But then, 2 weeks before departure, Ethan's company dropped a bombshell. A critical project deadline. No vacations, no exceptions. Canceling the trip was heartbreaking. Months of excitement, gone in a single email. They told themselves, next year, for sure. But little did they know that one canceled trip would change the course of their financial future forever. After canceling their Europe trip, Ethan and Rachel were left with one question. What do we do with the $8,000 we saved? For weeks, the money just sat there in their savings account. Silent. Still. One evening, over dinner, Rachel said, "Why don't we invest it instead of letting it sit idle?" Ethan hesitated. He'd never invested before. The stock market felt like gambling to him. But something about that idea stuck. So, together, they did a little research. They watched YouTube videos, read articles, and stumbled upon a quote by Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. That line hit them. And so, they decided to turn their vacation fund into an investment fund. After some thought, they chose the S&P 500 Index Fund. A simple, steady way to own a piece of America's biggest companies. It wasn't about quick profit. It was about planting a seed for their future. And that one small decision was about to rewrite their entire financial story. Then, life happened. Work got busier. Ethan earned a small promotion. Rachel started freelancing from home. They bought their first car, nothing fancy, just enough to get around Portland's rainy streets. A couple of years later, they welcomed a baby girl. And with that, life became a blur of diapers, deadlines, and sleepless nights. The Europe trip? It kept getting postponed. Next summer, then maybe after the baby starts school, then maybe someday. But that one small investment they made, the $8,000 they once set aside for a dream vacation, it stayed untouched. They never withdrew it. They barely even checked it. Because, honestly, they were just too busy living life. Years rolled by. The stock market, just like life, had its ups and downs. There were crashes, recoveries, record highs, and scary lows. But through it all, that $8,000 kept growing. Quietly, steadily. No drama, no trading, no stress. It just sat there compounding like time itself. While Ethan and Rachel were busy building their family, their money was busy building their future. Fast forward 10 years. It's 2023. Ethan and Rachel are no longer that carefree couple planning a vacation. They're parents now, balancing work, bills, and a 7-year-old who never stops asking questions. One quiet Sunday night, While cleaning out old papers, Rachel came across a file labeled Europe Trip Fund. Curious, she logged into their old investment account, the one they had almost forgotten existed. And what she saw made her freeze. Their $8,000 had quietly grown into nearly $28,000. No fancy trading, no sleepless nights watching the market. Just time and patience doing their quiet magic. Rachel laughed out loud and called out, "Ethan, you won't believe this, our Europe trip just turned into a house down payment." Ethan walked over, still in disbelief. They stared at the screen, smiling, realizing how one canceled trip had completely rewritten their financial story. That forgotten investment became the cornerstone of their dream home. A reminder that sometimes the best returns come not from what you do, but from what you choose not to spend. It wasn't luck. It was time. The quiet power of compounding had turned one canceled vacation into something far greater: financial security for their family. Imagine this. If they had gone on that Europe trip 10 years ago, every dollar would have vanished within 2 weeks. Plane tickets, hotel rooms, souvenirs gone. But instead, that same money worked for them. Day after day, year after year, turning small savings into something life-changing. Memories fade, but investments grow. Now, whenever Ethan walks through the door of their new home, he often says with a smile, "Every time I look at this house, I don't see bricks. I see patience." And that's the truth. Wealth isn't built by making millions overnight. It's built by not spending the thousands you could have, by choosing patience over impulse, discipline over distraction, and tomorrow over today. Financial psychology isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about redefining it. Because real freedom doesn't come from luxury vacations or designer brands. It comes from peace of mind, knowing your future is secure, your choices are intentional, and your money works quietly in the background. So next time life cancels your plans, maybe it's not rejection, maybe it's redirection. Because one smart decision today can rewrite your next decade.